I'm here in Singapore and I am eating Lor Mee, just one of the many amazing noodle dishes you can find here in Singapore. This one I love because, I mean, just look at this bowl of heaven right here. Oh, wow. Rich, thick, porky gravy, chewy noodles, a plethora of toppings. I mean, this is the street food noodle dish that I would travel the world for. Now, when I ate this in Singapore, I was blown away by the flavor. Makes me very happy. And also racking my brain for how I could make this at home. Well, I figured it out. Everything from the pork to the noodles to the toppings. Let's do it, my friends. Let's make Singapore Lor Mee. So we're gonna start off with the most important part of the dish, and that is the braised pork. So your pork belly is pretty much gonna look like this when you bring it home from the supermarket or your butcher. For this particular recipe, the skin isn't what we really want because we want the pork to break down and get all soft and the skin kind of stays chewy. So here's my technique for removing the skin. You just wanna slice the pork belly into manageable strips and then give yourself a bit of a skin handle here. By that I mean just slice beneath the skin so you can grip onto it and then use your knife and your skin handle to just kind of wiggle, wiggle, wiggle until the skin comes off. That's a weird way to describe cutting into pork belly, but anyway, that's what it is. Now cut the pork into just little bite-sized pieces and there you go. So now the sauce part. Now when I was eating this in Singapore for the first time, I was tasting this sauce and I was like, oh my God, it tastes so complex and delicious and porky. Oh yeah. And I was like, how am I gonna recreate this at home? But I found a way. To make the actual braise and the sauce, we want to start off with some water in a pot. Add in your pork. I'm going to add ginger, star anise, cinnamon sticks, Chinese 5-spice, and some shiitake mushrooms. I just soak these in some hot water until they're nice and soft, remove the stem, slice them, and they're good to go. To that, I'm going to add the soaking liquid from the mushrooms. That stuff's like flavor gold, so I try never to waste it. My light soy sauce, my dark soy sauce, oyster sauce, sugar, and some ground white pepper. Now, all of these powers combined are going to make the most amazing, delicious, slow braised pork belly.
Powers combined, huh?
Yeah, I don't know. I was just watching some Power Rangers on the weekend. Like, bah! Look at me, just my pop culture references from the 80s. I'm going to bring this up to a boil, reduce it down to a simmer, and then just let it do its thing for about 45 minutes. Now back to the pork. So I've been skimming off some of that kind of dirty business that comes up to the top of the braising liquid as it does its thing. And now we have this really lovely pork situation going on here. Oh, it smells so good. But what I need to do now is thicken it up because the whole vibe of this braise is that it's really thick and rich and intense. So I'm gonna mix tapioca starch with 100 mils of water and then stir that into the braised pork mixture. I'm gonna give that a simmer for another like 2 minutes until a really lovely thick gravy sauce forms. A little appreciation moment here for the shiny, thick gravy sauce. Oh my goodness. So aside from the braised pork and the noodles, there's also a really important component of Lor Mee, which is all the extras. So all the little bits and pieces that the guy in the stall is adding into the bowl. There's things like wontons, pork patties, crispy fried fish even, which was such a surprise for me to taste. Of course, doing all those things at home is quite the challenge. So I chose one item, the crispy fried fish, to add into my bowl, just to simplify things a little. So here we go. I'm starting off just with some white fish fillets. To make the crispy fish, I just want to create a really light batter here. So I'm going to dip my fish into some corn flour, then into some eggs that I've lightly beaten, then back into the corn flour, and then into hot oil, and just fry that fish until it's lovely and golden and crispy and cooked through. Then take the fish, drain it, and you just want to cut it up into lovely little sort of flaky pieces. So we have our pork, we have our fish topping. Now, when I ate this with Raymond at Chong Bahru in Singapore, there were a lot of other topping varieties to put on at the end. And I think this is really important. So I have the bits and pieces here. I have my fish cake. I have all the different types of chili. I've got the chopped garlic. I've got vinegar, bean shoots, egg, all the things. Now let's put it together. To bring all of this together into one magical bowl, you need to cook your noodles, just heat them through in some boiling water, follow the packet instructions, drain, pop them in your bowl. My pork and that lovely thick sauce on top. The crispy fish that's been broken up, fish cakes. Now you want to blanch these guys in some water before you add them to the bowl. Bean shoots, they've also been blanched in water. So I have minced garlic, sambal oelek, coriander, chilies, half an egg, black vinegar, oh my goodness, all the things. And here you go, my friends. This is Singapore Lor Mee made at home. What looks like and tastes like a very complicated dish when you're in Singapore eating it at a hawker centre, simplified for your eating pleasure at home. Let's get in here and have a look. Oh, this looks so good. I love this. Ah, look at those noodles. Oof. That is the biggest explosion of flavour ever. You've got the garlic, the chilli, oh, the pork. Oh my goodness, that sauce is just divine. That is literally heaven. Oh, so good. Yum.